That is dead. That is absolutely dead. Ayo, ayo, ayo. What the hell was that? So today is the day. Should be able to start the car for the first time in a while today. This is all together again. I'm talking about the intercooler piping. Ignore that. That's all back together. I've got all my clamps on. I think it's all tight enough. It's kind of hard to know sometimes with those things. I'm just at the moment, I wanted to change my spark plugs out just to have a look at them. They don't look that great, to be honest. They're a bit rough. The car was misfiring quite a bit before I stopped driving it, which was like 6 months ago. It's literally been sitting around for ages. Not sure if I would have told you guys already, but it's had the head gasket done with a metal head gasket and ARP head studs. That's something that happened. Basically, it lifted the head and had to get done, and I reluctantly got it done by a mechanic because I was working full-time and uniing full-time, so I couldn't be bothered to pull the head off. But I wish I did because I'm paying for it now because I hate mechanics and the way they do things. So spark plugs that were in there were not gapped correctly. They were over tightened. Just lots of things were like this brace over here. There's a little brace from I think it's the alternator or whatever. It was like not even bolted back on. It was just sitting there, so I had to redo all that stuff. Just lots of little things that I guess you expect from a mechanic because they do it all day, but you know, my pride and joy, you don't want those things left off. So I'm contact cleaning everything ignition related. So coil packs, even though they're getting replaced soon, I just wanted to contact clean them so I can see if I can get it running for a little bit first. Contact clean all the lead connections, even the crank angle sensor plug. Basically, I've deleted all of this. So this was sitting like there. So this goes across. I'm running out of hands, but this plastic part was going along the top of the rocker cover, and then this was kind of looping under this intake pipe, and then this thing here was plumbing back to there. So I've basically been able to delete all this, which probably weighs like, I don't know, maybe 300 grams or something. The rubber's pretty heavy. Obviously the weight savings is not going to be noticed, but it looks a lot tidier just having not everything all over here. Probably help in some way not having all this wasted airspace from the intake as well, I reckon. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Got that from Bunnings for like $11 with the clamp and a few other things. This is what they look like actually if you happen to want to try and find something similar. Leg tips they're called. I call them door stoppers, but they're actually leg tips, like for the bottom of a chair. I've got a bigger size one on the intake side that I've had for ages. So today, the plan of attack is finish doing, put my new spark plugs in that I just got. I've got to put the dump on still with the new O2 sensor. I haven't done that yet because dump pipes are absolute unt. Tried to keep that PG for you guys, but I hate doing dump pipes because there's always like one bolt right next to the gearbox, which is an absolute pain. Especially when you have a split dump like I do. Yeah, once that's on, I wanted to bleed the brakes because, as you may recall, I changed the rear calipers and the car's been sitting for a very long time, so I thought it's a good idea anyway. And then I've got to bleed the cooling system, of course, because I've had all of that done. Oh yeah, I got to bleed the power steering because we did power steering lines as well. I don't think I showed you guys that being done really, but it's not too interesting. It's just 2 lines. So spark plugs are all done, all back together. Just fit the new O2 sensor.
This has been our life for the last 3 hours.
Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close.
15 billion years bleeding the brakes. So much fluid. We finally think we're done. So we're going to chuck some coolant in it. Hopefully it doesn't fall out of the radiator. We'll see. Got a funnel? Or are you just going to chance it?
I'll just chance it, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Say his words.
What a loose unit. That's a lot.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, why does it use like 9 litres of coolant? Oil capacity is like 500 mils. Time to start it and try and bleed it and drop the back down. Make the radiator highest point by far, so it should make it easy. Bleed, just sat the rad cap on. About to give it a tickle for the first time in a couple months. The leaks.
I'll put the heater on.
coolant level will start to drop as it runs through into the car. Just got to keep it topped up. Pretty much it, really. Bleed the power steering by cranking the wheels left to right the whole way each time. And that just gets rid of all the bubbles from that. It's super easy. Seems to work. Hasn't shit a rod yet, so can't be that bad. Fucking oath. Still skid. It's working though. That's a first for a Nissan, am I correct?
Update. You last saw the car running. All was going well, except I spotted a leak from the turbo water line that goes to the block. Not sure if you can see it from under here, but it's up there. Yeah, you almost definitely can't see that. I can barely see it now. So I pulled all this off and tried to tighten it, but it's pretty hard to do because you need this sized spanner, which is very long, and there's not a lot of room down there because of the engine mount and stuff. They're kind of in the way. So I tightened it a little bit. I can't get it much more than that without buying a different tool, I think. So now's the moment of truth. I'm going to turn it on, let it warm up and see if it still leaks. If it does still leak, then I'll cry a bit and then go order a AN wrench thinger, because I think they've got a bit of a shorter handle. If it doesn't leak, then I can put the car down and probably move it. Alright, gave her a test, no leaks so far. Just dropped her down, put the bumper back on, checked everything up. So, time to go for a test drive. I think I've got time. I've got uni quite soon, but we'll see how we go. Cool. Everything clears. That's a good sign. She's very dirty. It's been a long time. So, yeah, I thought today was going too well. Just got back from uni, decided to give the car a little hit. It's shot the oil dipstick out. Too much crankcase pressure, I guess. Absolutely covered everything in oil. I had a plume of smoke following me. At least it's not on fire. That's always good. I hope you guys can see, by the way, I'm using my phone light next to the GoPro. Hope it's not too AIDS. I already started cleaning it up a little bit, but you can see there's heaps of oil all over the manifold. It was all over here as well on the rocker cover, and heaps on the bonnet. So yeah, either, God, I hope the rings aren't bad, because if I just spend all that effort fixing this, I don't want to fix more SRs. The super reliable 2.0. That's sarcasm, they're never reliable. Mine's always broken, as you can see. Started misfiring as well, but that's not unusual. Needs coil packs. The spool of the GTX is very, very juicy.
Later.
Alright, so Alex was driving home, gave it a very mild second gear pull, shit the dipstick out and blew oil fucking everywhere. Now it won't start. So we're going to do a compression test on it, just in case it's properly shit itself. And then move on to finding out what's wrong with it.
Damn, son, what's the retail on one of those?
Probably
How nice does it sound, man? Yeah, it's a bit. Like, give us some hits, bro, give us some hits.
Rip it!
Whoa! Nice. That's sick. So we're
Cylinder
comp
1, 80 psi.
Classic.
I think we're doing it right.
Yeah, we hope so.
I have done them many times before, so.
See how cylinder 2, 3, 4 go. Oh, that's good.
That one's all good.
It's like 148 psi or something.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cylinder 1.
Cylinder 1 is dead. Okay, cylinder 3 ready.
Whole car.
Oh, yes!
Oh wow. That is dead.
That is absolutely dead. It's like 30 psi.
Yeah. That means it's not head gasket, I don't think.
Yeah. $50 psi.
She's a crook engine, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you got only one cylinder was good, and you want to do a wet comp test now?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do wet in the lowest sill to see what happens to that.
Yeah, good up. What was that, number 3?
Yeah, number 3.
Yeah.
So when you put the oil in, if it's rings, it seals up the rings, so we get the correct comp reading. If it's valves, it will stay the same. So you
Right.
get to diagnose what happens with
That'd be interesting because it's had the head off and had head work, and the head gasket would be interesting if it's the head that was the
shit, I don't
problem.
know, eh?
Yeah.
Look, it could be a valve at this point. That's what I reckon it will be.
Yeah.
It'd make sense if it just went, I don't know, fucking 2 lane or something. Burned a valve out. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll find
Yeah.
out.
That would make sense.
I don't want to chat shit about what it could be because realistically, I don't think the Haltech wouldn't have let it go 2 lane. It's
No.
not a... So this is wet
That
with a bit
wasn't
of oil in sill 3 in the worst one.
That's enough. Not moving. It's not moving.
Still like 30. Your reputation has gone downhill.
All in now.
Hang on.
Go crazy.
And check my sick front mount, boys. Fucking fat VL turbo.